Hey there, welcome back to Wellbeing Life Vlogs, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today we are going to be chatting and yarning together. Well, I'm yarning. Whatever you're doing, I want to hear what you're doing in the comments down below. So like if you're crafting or gaming or something, let me know. I also have a nice big cup of coffee next to me because I'm very sleepy. And it's super snowy outside, which is so weird for my area. It's very not normal. I know a lot of people have snow like this every year. We normally get like 1 to 2 inches, if that. And we're expecting a foot today. Insanity. I'm also a little sniffly, and I think it's from the cold. I've been going out in it all morning to film. So I'm really sorry if I sound icky. And today I'm going to be working on some hexagons. I'm planning to do a honeycombed blanket because we want to do our living room in a honeybee theme this year, which I think is gonna be real freaking cute. And I have several hexagons made already. These are in the color Tobacco from Yarn Bee, Soft Secret. And then I am using this color today, which is Yarn Bee Honey. And I have a few other colors to use, but I think this is just gonna be the only one that I use today. I'm also not using my external mic to film this because I think it is malfunctioning. The last time I used it and went to edit the video, it had some like really weird shaky bits to it. So I'm just gonna ignore the camera or the mic today. I hope that the audio is still decent. I know it's super echoey in this room, but this is probably the best space that I have to film. It's definitely got the best lighting today. Today I wanted to talk about living a cozy life. I would like to think that my lifestyle is pretty darn cozy, and not in a picturesque way where everything in my house is very vintage and very well put together and all of my outfits are, you know, fuzzy sweaters, and I am wearing fuzzy socks a lot lately, but that's more because it's snowing. But more in just a comfortable, casual way. I feel like it's more of my approach to this lifestyle that I wanted to talk about instead of the aesthetics. Because I feel like the things that I've learned from trying to incorporate more coziness into my life have been more valuable to me as someone with mental illness than a fuzzy sweater. And there's nothing wrong with a fuzzy sweater. I think fuzzy sweaters, and you know, I think having the correct atmosphere that you feel comfortable in is important. Don't get me wrong. But that's gonna change for everyone, and even, you know, lifestyles will change for everyone, but I think we're in such a go, go, go mindset as a society, especially in the US. I know not everywhere is like this, but like the US is very hustle driven, and it leads to a lot of people having anxiety and things of that nature. So I just wanted to talk about what I've learned from trying to, I would almost go as far as to say slow living, but I feel like I'm a hyperactive person and I'm not slow. But I think sometimes my videos come across as that, so let's just talk about it. I have some talking points written out on a notebook in front of me. They're not in any sort of order, it's not of like any importance, but they're things that I've been learning and practice. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is resting. I grew up thinking that rest was something that you earned and that you bragged about how little rest you could run off of and how little sleep you could function with. I would say in the last year or so, I've really gotten better about this. Rest is now something that is mandatory. Rest is something that I prioritize so that I can function and function well and just enjoy being awake. Now, that's something that I've really had to take into consideration because I have sleep disorders and I struggle with a sleep cycle. And for a long time, I would punish myself if I didn't sleep as I should have the night before, then I just had to suffer through it. I wasn't, allowed to take naps. Now, sometimes it was because naps didn't make me feel great. I would wake up very groggy and sort of like with an upset stomach. But over the last year, and it's been a little bit longer than that, but the mindset change of that rest is now mandatory, I'm so much less grumpy. I am no longer really impressed by, I've been up for 30 hours. Sometimes that happens. It's going to happen with my health condition, but I am no longer proud of it either. And I feel like a lot of people could probably benefit from bragging about how much sleep they got instead of how much sleep they didn't get. The last couple of months, I've been trying to focus on making things easier for myself later. We always say things like that, meal prep makes things easier for you later. I've tried to break that down into smaller steps, and I've started incorporating steps into my morning and evening routines that will make the next day easier. And it's not always something huge. It's normally, I clean the crumbs off the counter so that tomorrow morning breakfast isn't as stressful. And it's sort of shifted the way I think about cleaning, but mostly about cleaning in particular. From this is a task that I have to do, or I deserve to feel ashamed for it not being done, to this task will make tomorrow easier. This task will make tomorrow a bit more comfortable. This task will just make my day. I think I'm just talking in circles now. But that mindset has really changed how I go about a lot of things. I'm actually meal prepping a lot more because frankly, I don't like cooking every day. I'm finally working on a routine where every evening I shut down, and I've always dreamed of having a routine like that for the sake of productivity, but I never really focused on why am I being productive. I kind of just wanted to, feel like a real adult and not necessarily make my day easier. So I would say, hey, I'm going to clean the house every night before I go to bed so that I can wake up with a sparkling kitchen. I don't do that, first off, before we jump in. This mindset hasn't changed me that much. But then at the end of the day, I just think about it. I'm like, well, I've been productive all day today. I've gotten a lot done, and I don't want to do more. And so I wouldn't. And then the next day I would wake up and I'd be in a bad mood because breakfast was stressful. I couldn't really make my coffee as easily because I didn't prepare for it the night before. And it's just not a great foot to start the day off on. However, the idea of just making tomorrow a little bit easier, making the next step a bit easier, is now a lot more easy. I've also sort of relaxed on the idea that in order for it to be easier, it has to be sparkling and spotless. It just has to be functional. I basically just work on continuing the next step of any cycle that I've left up. I fold blankets and put them away so that I have somewhere to sit comfortably. Daisy doesn't like that as much, but Daisy can ruin the blanket when I'm done. Speaking of making the day easier and routines, I've also started building preparation into my routines. I haven't been as great about this the last couple of weeks, but I've started taking Sundays as a day to reset, get things done for the day or for the week. I would like to start meal prepping, but that'll happen at some point or it won't. But most of my routines now have a step in them that helps prepare me for the next chunk of the day and not just in a, I'm showered and I'm ready. My main example that I can think of, because I didn't write a lot of notes, is at night I make myself a chai latte and I get, that was spooky. The door just opened on its own. I'm gonna go close that. Where was I? Part of my night routine, I make a chai latte so that in the morning, I have it by my bed and I have that little burst of caffeine to help me actually wake up and function before I've even had to go and make my coffee. I've mentioned this a few times already in this video, but I feel like it needs its own bullet point. Readjusting expectations. I thought that cozy living, if you couldn't tell by my beginning spiel, was all about having handmade sweaters and knitting all of your scarves. Well, I do knit all my scarves, but that's just because I don't want to buy them. And knitting all day and making everything handmade, homemade, never buying a frozen meal again, never really enjoying convenience and doing everything the hard way because it's cozier. And there is something very beautiful in that lifestyle, and there is something very... I think if you do have that kind of lifestyle, you definitely deserve to be proud. However, there's no shame in things being easier on you. I, for a long time, have had the expectation that I have to be all or nothing in everything I do. If I want to be a productive person, I have to be productive all of the time, and that I don't have time to be cozy and relaxed. If I want to be a cozy person, if I want to go into slow living and hygge and all of that, then I have to match the aesthetic, and I can't focus on productivity at all because that goes against what all of that is for. I think there's somewhere in the middle that is actually my happy place. I still calendar block, I still make to-do lists, I still bullet journal, I still write so many notes, and I love using Notion. But I also knit and crochet, and I do things that make me happy, and I light a lot of candles. I also don't have a very pretty house. Most of my house is not Instagram worthy, especially right now. We are in here for a reason. And that's okay. I am okay with that because I'm shifting my expectations from all or nothing or matching what I think things are supposed to look like to what they look like, what I can actually do to improve them, and what's actually making me happy. One thing that I've learned, and I think this is a 2020 thing, if anything, is how good it feels to plan things to look forward to. I have never been a person who plans vacations or plans trips, or I don't know, I think I'm like really sick of being stuck in the house, which is why I'm going to that sort of thing. But I don't plan small get-togethers or weeknight, like date nights with my husband or anything like that. It's always been very go with the flow. Looking ahead at things kind of stresses me out because I don't have a great concept of time and how it passes and what you're actually able to do with it, because in my head either you can do so much or you can't do anything at all. I am very not great at predicting time. However, 2020 has changed a lot of that for me. I now try to give myself goals. Oh, and another part of that is like I've also never been a person who celebrates myself for my own achievements. I now have, obviously I can't travel yet. That's not something that has changed. But one thing that I have been doing is I keep track of different things. I do like number values because it feels measurable. I write out my goals, and I also write out when I reach this goal, I'm gonna celebrate by doing this or doing that. Examples, because I like having examples. When I reach 500 subscribers, I'd like to have a nice dinner. I think I'd like a nice steakhouse dinner. I can't even eat steak, by the way, but I really love like mashed potatoes from steakhouses. Oh, and I don't want everything to be food-based, but I also don't want to be against food either. When I reach, I think it was 750 cleaning points on my Sweepy app, I have a set of headphones that I would really like to get because I am using wired headphones to go to the gym, and I don't like that at all. They function, they're doing their job, and the sound quality's fine. It's just getting tangled. Getting tangled, the wire is longer than I am tall, and it just... We are spoiled to live in a land in a time where wired headphones are an inconvenience, and I know that. So I'd like to celebrate with a nice, they're pink, they're really cute. I hope they're still available. I don't know if they're limited edition or not. So I am trying to build in things to look forward to. I know that's going to get better and adjust and change as time progresses, as the pandemic, less pandemic is, the pandemic slows, I guess. And the final thing is something that I recently touched on in a vlog, but I didn't actually express my point very well. I really wanted to, but I think I was stressed out during the voiceover. I wish I had those notes. If I had thought about it, I would have grabbed them. As I've said before, I feel like productivity is important, and it is. I enjoy being productive. I have had a mindset of doing things for the end result for a very long time. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a road trip. I like going in the car for a long period of time. I like the whole process of getting snacks and figuring out the comfortable position. I think road trips are great. And that is probably the only time, it's about the journey, not the destination, applies to me. Because for everything else, I care more about getting things done than actually doing them. I appreciate it so very much when someone makes something handmade for me, that know the amount of time that goes into that project. I know the skill that someone has to spend years developing. I value it. I really value it. But when I make something, I rush through it. I don't enjoy the process. I just want it to be done and over with. And I do that with so many things. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that's a automatic shift. Like, I'm not suddenly very interested in the process of washing dishes. No, I just want them done. I don't want to be in there. But there's something about crafting in particular, and other things too, that enjoying the process of doing them feels good. It feels fulfilling. And it's sort of, if you're into spell work or intention, it's a way to add your intention into the project. Sometimes I just speed through things and I don't really think about the fact that I'm giving someone something that will last them years, and I'm making it with my own hands, and I'm using this skill that I've practiced for over a decade. And the yarn is soft and it feels so good, and everything is so nice. I really noticed this when I did the Knit With Me vlog, where I did the fingerless gloves. I'm still working on that project, by the way. I finished the scarf last night. But I realized that taking time to set myself up to enjoy the process, and then giving myself time to enjoy the process, blocking it off, saying, this is my time to work on it, felt amazing. And it's something that I think a lot of us are sort of geared against doing. And I just really wanted to share that tidbit of, it's still very important to enjoy the process of doing. And I know some people have been, oh, my foot is asleep. Oh, that's very, very tingly. Oh boy. Oh, that train of thought's gone. I'm so sorry. That train of thought is very gone. Yeah, no, it's gone. Crap. if you have something that you have learned over the last year of this different lifestyle that a lot of us have been living, and you want to talk about it in the comments, I would love to hear it. I don't care if it's a cozy living, a slow living, just something that you've started doing for your own mental health. Let me know. I think this is a great conversation to have. I wasn't really sure what else to talk about today, but I was asked to do a chatty crochet video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see a time lapse or more chatty videos with this project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, I actually did not think that would be so perfectly well timed that I finished the first hexagon as I was ending this video. Yeah, let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I've got some more baking ahead. I'm not going to be doing a lot of baking right now. It's just not food and the kitchen have just been really stressful for me. I think that is entirely just the fact that like restaurants are no longer a thing and I never have a break from cleaning the kitchen. So I just really don't want to bake. But let me know what kind of crafty projects you want to see, what kind of craft, like crochet or knit with me's. If you like this more than you liked the knit with me I did earlier with the time lapse, let me know. It won't hurt my feelings. I just want to know what you guys like to see. And that is all I can really think of to say. If you are still watching, leave me a bumblebee emoji in the comments and hit subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys in a couple of days.